Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. In this video, I'm going to troubleshoot and likely repair my cousin's microwave oven. It is maybe 2 years old Frigidaire unit. It is built into the wall of her kitchen. However, it's not a built-in, it's just a tabletop that they frame in there. So at my cousin's place, she has a Frigidaire microwave built in, maybe 2 years old. You do your quick start, everything appears to be working. It's not working. It's not activating the heating source for it, so it's just running. And normally that is one of the 3 door switches that causes this not to work properly. So we're going to pull it apart, the panel apart, access those switches, test them, see which one's bad, try to get one to replace it. So let's get started. First thing you should do is find the circuit breaker to shut the power down so you don't electrocute yourself. That's never a good sight for the family. Or unplug it. This one, as you can see, is built totally into the wall. So we're going to flip the circuit breaker on it and then take the panel apart, test the switches. Nice thing about these newer homes, everything has labeled. So first shot, we got the microwave. Look on top of it, you can see Phillips screws. Take that one loose, take that one loose. This will take the top panel off, allow you access to some of the other things on the microwave. I took the screws out the top, also a couple in the bottom to get the whole framework down away from it. Now that I have the framework away, I'm going to pull these 4 screws here to slide the whole unit out, because this unit is kind of like a countertop unit. It's just attached to this and framed into this unit here. Then I'm going to take the panel off of it to get to the controls inside. Once you get the microwave pulled out, you'll see the plug in the back. Unplug it, carry it somewhere, set it down. So I brought it in here to the laundry room. Next, I'm going to remove these 4 screws and see if I could get, there's a screw over here, see if I can get the back of it up and off of it so I can check those switches. Those screws on the back of the unit are T15 security. Now I got these from Home Depot, and as you can see, they got that hole in them for security. However, the long end wouldn't fit, but the short end would. So whatever security driver you have, try both ends of it if you got these tight. But it is a security T15. So I'm gonna pull 1, 2, 3, 4 screws out, and then that looks just like a regular. Yeah, that's a regular T15. I have 4 screws out the back, 1 out the side. Now I'm going to say this as a caution. There are things inside appliances, especially high voltage electrical appliances, that store energy. Microwaves, TVs, things like that, they store power. So don't touch anything that you don't have to in this unit. You could get electrocuted, shocked. Man, that could be, yeah, that could kill you. But, so only touch stuff that you have to. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and off. But I realized after pulling this out of the wall that this is a countertop unit. It's not really nothing special about it being built into the wall. I tilted the bottom up, pulled it out, so it's pulled out. Now I can see the stuff on the back of there. I have the panel off, and you can see there's 3 door switches in here. One here, one here, and one here. They look identical. So what we want to do is get an ohm meter with the door closed, see if there's any continuity, open the door, see if there's any continuity, and that'll help us locate if one of these door switches are bad, if you lose your circuit. Now this is my voltmeter. Only thing I need to do is check the ohms, which is that setting there. You can get a circuit tester, an ohm meter, a voltmeter. All we're doing is checking to see if these switches are opening and closing when the door is open and closed. You could spend $5 or $30 for one of these. Anyway, I have this set to ohms. Looking at this switch, it has a catch on it. Catch on the top and a catch on the bottom. You pry those open a little bit, slide that switch out, then unplug it. Brown wires on top, yellow wires on the bottom. Probably really doesn't matter. Let's pull this switch, see if we can find one locally. I pried those two tabs, worked the switch out. Now the switch has the activation thing right there. So that should be activated when this door is closed. Let me back probe this again, see if it works now. With the switch out and disconnected, when I push the release button on it, nothing happens. And if you look in there, when you push the button to open the door, that lever activates. So let's see if we can find one of these switches. You can take a picture with your phone, make sure you hook it up like it was when you disconnected it. And these wires just pull loose from the switch, like plugging something in or out. Let me unplug that wire. It unplugged. You do have to use a little force because these wires, they have a little, if you look in the middle, it's got a little latch in it, and that latch tries to lock in on that hole so the connectors don't fall out. So you do have to pull with a little force. So here's the switch. Let me call the parts department, see if I could find a switch. This is the part that's on this particular unit. So what you want to do is get the model number from the unit. Call a local parts place. That's your model number inside there. Give them that model number and ask them if they have one of these door switches. Then you could take it with you when you pick it up so that you can match it up, make sure it's the right size, it got the right holes. When you fit it in there, it'll fit in right, and that switch will be able to be activated when that door is activated. On my way to check parts availability, I started playing with the switch, and now the switch is working. See 0 there? I press it in, it loses connection. So I'm gonna plug this back in, see if we can heat up some water real quick. Well, something strange. When I check the switch with it out of the unit, it seems to work fine. When I check it when it's plugged in, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna replace it, see if that helps. Not really sure what's going on, but when I test the switch with the brown wire hooked up, it doesn't work. When I test it with the brown wire disconnected, it does work. So let's replace this switch, see what happens. I went to a local appliance repair and parts store. They said they had no parts for this except for the switch should work. It looks exactly like the one that's in there. It's even got those little slots in the top of it. Not exactly. This post is down a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to plug this in, see if it works. Alright, I installed the replacement switch. Brown wires on top, yellow one under it, and the switch goes in with the door open. With the door closed, it activates the switch there. Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit here for you. See the red thing is the switch. Close the door, and it pushes it, unlatches the door, and it releases the switch. So let's plug this in, see if this thing's going to work. Alright, I'm going to toss a piece of bread in here. We all know how fast bread heats up. Hit it 30 seconds plus. Oop, it just cut right off. Let's see what happens. thought that fuse might have blew, but it didn't. So I don't know. I don't think there's a safety for this door being open, but let me go ahead and unplug it, plug it back in and see what happens. I plugged the unit in here. As soon as I try to power it on and function, it blows the breaker. Maybe this circuit doesn't have enough power for a microwave. I'm going to move it back in its slot and try it there. Meanwhile, I'm going to go reset this breaker out here on the panel. The microwave's on 220, and so is this dishwasher kitchen appliance that keeps breaking. Whoa! That whole breaker almost came out of the panel. It's crazy. Let me go see if that works. I'm going to plug it in here, cut this on, then see if the microwave works. Alright, so the only thing I really did was change the switch. See if it trips that breaker on this. As soon as I hit start, it trips the breaker just by changing that switch. So I'm going to change that switch back and see if it starts running strange the way it was. Running without power in the heating unit. Because right now it's just flipping the breaker. Since the door switch worked when I took it out, tested it, my next suspect is this capacitor resistor. This capacitor could be holding a lot of voltage, power on it, so do not touch it, ground yourself out, you can get shocked, electrocuted. This one actually has a lot of insulation on it, so I grabbed a pair of pliers, unplugged it, and I'm going to check for resistance on it using the ohm meter. Okay, when I put it on ohms on my meter, I touch one end there, I touch the other end on the tip of that, I get nothing. Let me try to set it where you can see it. As you can see, I have the probe there, the other probe in there, and I'm getting absolutely no resistance, which means that this is open. So I need to replace that part and see how things go. Just made it home the night of July 2nd. Red Baron still sitting here. Everything looks cool. Queen Bee still sitting here. Everything looks cool. Looks like we are good to go. Jump on Red Baron PDQ. Let me get in here, call it a night, take mom grocery shopping in the morning. Not sure why, but our apartment is flooded again. Kicking off Saturday morning with Santos. He has a bad blend motor. We hooked up the one we got from the salvage yard, cycled it through, it does turn. So we're trying to get back here at this one and get the 3 screws out. So we got the 2 corner ones out, trying to get the one on the other end out. It's easy to see it from down here. So there it is, that's the screw getting out. Probably easier if I remove this guide off of here. So I may remove that guide, get more space, get my hand in there, but I almost got it out, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish where I'm at. The motor was stuck at hot, so you can see how the shaft was there. We plugged this one in, turned it to hot. So I'm gonna slide this metal pin out of this one, slide it into that one. Let me grab a pair of pliers, pull that out, put it in that one. Got it slid out. You see it has a catch there. Slide it in that motor, lock it in. Alright, now I'm going to put this motor in place, start those screws. We should be good to go. In my original video, I said those things fall back to the full cold position, but this one didn't. So I had it up around 76. I got the motor to sit in. We're full cold now. This thing is freezing. Oh yeah. So we're good to go on that. Well, I used my magnetic husky to get the top two in. Got that lower one in with that T15 with the 1/4 inch socket and the 1/4 inch drive. So, all done with that. Next up, leaking transmission seal. See it dripping on the ground. We just pulled the axle out, pulled the seal out. Got an SKF seal. Matched it up, made sure they were the same size. When you drive these in, just be extra careful that you're driving it in evenly, because if it gets cocked, it could damage the seal. You have to take it out. But use the seal extractor tool to get it out of there quick and easy. And we're going to drive it in nice and patiently. I'm here to try to help this lady put an alternator on this car, and she got a flat tire. I don't know where she thinks she's going. Let me open it up, see what's going on in here. Heck, bunch of parts right in here on the floor. Oh crap, they got all kind of crap loose in here. See the kind of surprise we have here. Well, it's almost in. See where we gotta go from here. I don't know if this is the alternator they putting in or taking out. Light cover off. Let me send him a text message, see what's going on. I was told she had a rebuilt alternator. That ain't rebuilt, that's junkyard or used. Man, this thing needs to be tested before I put it in. Another one looked just as bad as worse inside the car. The alternator tested good, so let's get cracking getting this installed. Try to figure out how somebody took it all apart. For some strange reason, this bracket was removed, so I'm gonna go reattach that and lay that alternator down there and get this thing started on the installation side. I'm gonna pull this dipstick out of the way. That normally gives me some more reaching room down there, and tighten these two up here. Not sure why somebody took those off. Unfortunately, we got a bolt missing. We should have 4 bolts. The longest one goes in that lower alternator hole and screws into the back of this bracket. That bolt's missing, so I'm at a standstill until that bolt reappears. Kicking off today, headed to church. I've long known my fuel gauge is off, telling me that I have less fuel than I actually have. Whenever I fill it up, it goes close to the top, but it drops that first third pretty quick. I got a low fuel warning, and it told me I had 50 miles left. When it told me that, I reset that, which was 60 miles ago. And now it says I have 40 miles left. So when it told me I had 50, it looks like I had 100. Which I guess is good to err to that side. But sometimes you get in between stops running down the highway. You don't want to stop as soon as you have to. Wonder if you can make it that other 30 miles. Well, heck, looks like I could have made it. And sometime I did push it, but sometime I didn't. So anyway, I'm on my way to church, and then I'll get gas after that, and we'll see how many gallons I can put in. Usually when it tells me I have 40 miles left, I'll pump gas, and I only get like 13, 14 gallons, which means there should be another 5 gallons in the car. 5 gallons times 23 or 20, that's 110, 120 miles. So I've always left for fuel in the tank. I do have a fuel level sending unit to replace this one with, so maybe I'll do that soon, and maybe that one will be more accurate than this one. So let's see if I make it to church. It appears that I just ran out of gas on the interstate at 90 miles. Car just died. It says I have 25 miles to empty. So I'll see how much gas I could put in the car. Fortunate for me, I was going 70 miles an hour. I was 300 yards from the exit. From the exit, drifted right in to this gas station, which has gas I approve of. So I'm really blessed. So here we go. I'm going to bump the starter, cut the car off, bump the starter again, cut the car off, bump the starter one more time, trying to pressurize the fuel rail. Now I'm going to see if she starts. There we go, people. Now I'm going to set my scan gauge. Paid a little more for gas here. I think I paid $3.10. Super unleaded. And we're good to go. Got a full tank of gas. On my way to Socorro, picked up a bunch of 850 parts, steering wheel, door panel insert, some axles, and a full dash for that red 850R I've been helping Karen with. So, headed to Socorro right now. I'm gonna water up so I don't pass out, and tune in when I get down there. I'm doing an open loop, closed loop session. Right now, I am holding 75 miles an hour. I'm gonna let off the gas. Throttle position goes to 10, engine braking, it goes to open loop. Now I'm gonna kick on the cruise, and it's to try to set the cruise at 78. As that throttle position rises and the car starts gaining speed, it goes open loop. Looks like I'm at about 5 pounds on my boost gauge, and I'll see when it goes closed loop again. It went closed immediately when boost fell under 1 pound. So I'm gonna ease on the gas again. Oh, I hit the brake, sorry about that. I'm gonna ease on the gas again, see when it goes open loop. Right now it's back to cruise. I'm gonna ease on the gas, see when it goes open loop. Went open at about 2 pounds of. And it seems like over 35% throttle position, it goes open loop. 33%. Let me go to 35. 30. Yeah, it went. Seems like over 35% throttle, it goes open loop. Engine braking again. So that's where I'm at. The sound of 1,000 locusts. Look at that thing. Think I can trim my beard? Believe it or not, you attach the steering wheel, stick a key in the ignition, and this car, it did actually start.
It runs perfect.
Start and runs without a dash.
You can hear the vacuum leak though, but that's not it.
That little vacuum leak to the boost gauge? Yeah, you can just plug that. I don't think I'll buy one driving home without the dash. Just for giggles. Okay, so The airflow directional of the AC heat near ECC unit is not working. That is this blend motor here. We got one down there to replace it, and we're going to get started. Get this dash in today. If you don't remember, or if I didn't record it, this is the dash that we pulled out of the 850R. You see that beautiful walnut? However, the top of it has a big chunk missing. There are a couple of pieces that are smooth cracked. Another one there, another one there, another one here. We just didn't feel like this dash could support the rest of the beauty of the rest of the car. Of course, that dash pad there, I should have brought the one that the guy just tried to give me. So we're gonna go ahead. Should have seen Karen's face. We're gonna go ahead, take the wiring harness out of this and put it in the replacement dash, because that wiring harness is a big deal. I'm telling people now, if you swap a dash, swap the wire harness too, unless that car was identical. This car is a 97, that car was a 95. You really need to swap the wire harness. So let's get started pulling the wire harness out of this one. Here's the old dash. Broken mount, broken mount, broken mount, broken mount. Here's the replacement dash. I don't even see a crack on those mounts. This is amazing. Is that a crack? Okay, this one is cracked. This is the only one that's got a crack on it. The rest of them are in perfect shape. First thing I'm gonna do is swap over the vent plate. No, don't touch the vent. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't mess with the vent. You can't do. Why would I want the vent plate from a different car on this car? Push those push pins out, slide it out, take the one that belongs with the actual vehicle, swap it over to the replacement dash. Cut a zip tie there, cut a zip tie there. Look how that wire comes through here. Let me go to the other side and start pulling stuff to take that apart. Today turning into a slow grind. Took Mom grocery shopping first thing this morning. I am on my way to run a couple of errands for Mom. Then I got an eye exam, and then I'm working on some videos. So I'm getting ready to go YouTube live when I get over here to emissions place. Get this car past emissions and wash it. Same location that Brilliant Brothers, they do emissions testing, and they got this car wash there. So probably vacuum this thing out as well. But I need to run by the junkyard. Don't think that's gonna happen today, but let me see what I can get done. I need to get my wheels checked as well. Picked up some wheels while I was on the road from my buddy Andrew in Cincinnati. So if those wheels are good and straight, I'll work on getting them refinished, put some tires on them, toss them on Queen Bee, stop some of that shaking on Queen Bee, and then work on getting those tires, those wheels straightened out. I am headed out. I got back Friday night, 9 o'clock-ish. Today is Tuesday, and I don't seem to be going anywhere. And man, people and their dogs, I tell you. Anyway, today's goal is to get this lady's car running. For some reason, she has gone over a month without having somebody fix her car. She tried to get somebody to fix it. They couldn't do it. Need to get an alternator installed. They lost a bolt. I'm on my way to the junkyard to get that bolt. Then I need to get back and mail out things that people's ordered. Parts, tools, stuff like that. Need to get that stuff out. And I have a dentist appointment for me and Diane at 4 o'clock. I found out that my dentist has a satellite office location that bills cheaper than his primary office. So he's got an office in the rich part of town per se, and an office in the poor part of town, and the office in the poor part of town, everything's cheaper. Why am I not using the one close to me in the poor part of town? Brand new building and everything. That makes sense. I don't understand what people are doing. At any rate, I am on my way to the junkyard to do some reconnaissance, check on 2 or 3 parts for a few people. I'm gonna try to get a part for Panther. My exhaust hanger rubber grommet tore while I was in Oklahoma City on my way home, and this lady needs a bolt for her alternator. So on my way to the junkyard to deal with that. Hopefully I won't be there long, and I can check out what they got left and go from there. Now, I had a good time on my trip, was pretty productive. One guy's car in particular I did not get complete. Just had too many variables and obstacles, and he wasn't ready for me to install the engine in his car. So other than that, very successful trip. One guy changed his mind, didn't want me to do the job on his car, but everything else we got complete. So hopefully we can go on another trip, help some people with some things they want to do, get done, and have another good time, man. You know, sad to say, I got here Friday night, I'm already ready to go. Already tired of the hot, dry heat here. During my last trip, I had, I think 3 stops that did not pay for themselves. Unfortunately, cost me about $1,100 out of pocket, $1,100. So when I make my next trip, I need you guys really to be aware of the expenses in travel. If you have a question about it, call me. For me to be on the road costs me about $200 a day. I'm gonna make a video, post it later on today about that. I made a video yesterday. I tried to edit it on my phone because my computer was tied up. That has not happened. The phone software is not working properly. So I will get that posted later today, explain to you guys how that works so that we can avoid doing that in the future. Because unfortunately, I'm not in the position to pay to go help people with projects, and I don't have that kind of support from the general public, my viewers. My Patreon account, I opened it up in September, I think, last year. My hope was to get 100 members donating at least $2 per month. Man, I hope people are saving way more than that and watching videos and learning things. And I only have 51 members so far. I don't know if they're all paying members or not. Not all the Patreon people pay. They don't have to. I don't want them to have to. If you can't afford to pay, you can join Patreon and not pay. That's no big deal to me. However, if you are saving money and you can pay, and you're inclined to help support me, do so. That way, if I run into situations on the road or whatever where someone can't afford the help that I'm providing, that'll be easily offset, you know. My Patreon contributions last month that I got from Patreon covered about 20% of my expenses outlay for just those 3 stops that I lost funds on. So no big deal. We're gonna press on. I didn't miss any meals, made it home safely, didn't have any issues, all's fine and well. However, I do think that that may cause a delay. Hold on a second, my phone is going crazy. With this new phone, I gotta mute the phone in order to make a video, or every notification buzzes and disturbs the video. Anyway, forgot what I was saying. Let me go back and check and see what I was saying. Back to what I was saying, I do think that that's going to cause a delay in getting my seats rebuilt in Panther. My plan was, as soon as I got home, to remove the seats and take them to the upholstery shop. I'm not able to do that right now, but hey, I'll make that up somehow soon here. So stay tuned, and I'll be at the junkyard in a minute or two. It appears that they have completed this highway exit and lane extension here at the exit near the junkyard. Working on that for a while. Seems wide open and useful. I think they made this an additional lane from this Rio Bravo exit all the way to Isleta. Nice, smooth, open exiting and on-ramps. I thought they were doing a flyover for some reason, but they were just extending the exit here to accommodate more vehicles so the traffic doesn't back up on the freeway during rush hour. So, very nice. Good job, State. I am at the junkyard looking for an alternator bolt. Somebody pulled an alternator and lost the bolt that I need to put it back together. I am back here to the Blue Beast, about to drop this alternator in. This is the alternator bolt here that goes through the lower alternator connection and then to the back of this thing. These other bolts go in other positions. So let me get this thing in here, hopefully get this car running, hopefully within an hour, and go back to the house, take care of some housework. I put that lower bolt in the alternator. It was still flopping around. I pushed the bolt all the way through till it was flush, hit the back of this bracket. Then I had the alternator land forward like it is. I set the bracket in place so that that bolt back there lines up where this goes through. I get that started. So once I got that started, it still pivots like this. I'm going to put my hand down there, push that lower alternator bolt in until I feel it catch there. Then I'm going to tighten that in, tighten this one in, and then push this alternator up in there and work on the rest of these bolts. As you can see, that AC compressor bolt, and then where that socket is sticking out about 1 inch up, straight up in the air, is where that other hidden bolt is for that lower alternator hole. I got the tool on it. Looks like I got everything together. Serpentine belts on, brackets on around the power steering pump. All the bolts and nuts are in. The alternator's connected. I'm gonna go ahead and install the dipstick, and then the coolant tubes, fill it up, start it. May have to jump it to start it, and I hope I got my air pump up this tire. And it starts. Oil was overfilled, coolant's low. I don't see any lights on the dash. I'm gonna plug in my scan gauge and see if it's charging to the right level. Roll this window down before I lock myself out. Scan gauge is connecting. Idle is smoothing out. Give it 10 more seconds, then I'll hit a button. Check volts. Oops, passed it. $13.3. That is acceptable on the scan gauge. Again, you always let these cars run a couple minutes before you shut them off. You don't want them to flood. Get lawnmower syndrome. She's got a little bit of coolant in there. It's in the bottom of the tank. So she just needs to add a little bit. Maybe some distilled water will make her right. Let me pack up my stuff and get out of here. And this tire is flat, but look at that. Side walls are split. Nobody should be riding on tires like this. It's a shame. Sad. Let's see if I can pump this up with my jump box and my air. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.